Yo, 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 what's up?
What's up? What's up?
We're here.
Back for episode 3.
Episode 3, guys.
All
We
right.
live? Are we live?
We live. How we feeling?
Phenomenal over the weekend, man.
Feeling good.
Doing good?
Feeling great. Can't complain. Real good.
We got, let me introduce you guys. No, you know what? Introduce yourselves real quick.
All
Go
right.
ahead,
Very
Coach.
simple. I'm Coach Armando from Supreme Boxer Boxing Club, known as El Guapo.
Hey.
Damn.
Hey, watch out, because he will take your chick.
Yeah. For the third time. No. And I'm Eric, otherwise known as E-Slick, E-Money.
What's up, baby?
What's up? All right.
I'm Lou Almighty, baby.
What up, Big Lou?
What's up?
I am yours truly, Big Chubbs. So what's up? How's your weekend?
Well,
Good, man. Good
I think we had
fights.
a fantastic weekend, especially for
Yeah.
a fight weekend. We had a great weekend. We had a Friday fight,
Friday
Saturday fight,
Triple G.
and actually a good conversation right there between who fought.
Yeah.
So
Let's start it off.
So, I don't know if you guys know or if you guys were in tuned. This was on Friday, Fernando Vargas Jr.'s professional first debut fight.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys catch
Big
that?
fan. I'm a big fan, yeah.
Hell yeah, me too. A real quick story on Fernando
Well, I got one
Fernando
too.
Vargas.
I got one too.
I got plenty of my own.
See, there you go. So, a long time ago, this shit was about, I don't know if it was after the Felix Trinidad fight or before the Oscar De La Hoya fight.
Right.
So we go to a club right here in Riverside called Sevilla's, and I'm thinking I'm all bad, taking my chick and shit. And so, you know, we're moving and grooving, having a good time. Fucking Fernando Vargas pulls up. Oh, man. All the girls in the club's panties got wet real quick.
Was he when he had bangs?
Yeah, he had bangs. He was a little pretty boy.
He was a
And,
pretty boy. He was a bad boy.
He was.
Yeah, bad enough. He took my girl.
Oh.
Hey, really?
Yeah.
What?
Fucking,
I've
she
heard
was
this story.
like,
fucking way.
she was like, hey, Fernando invited me to come over, so you don't have to worry about me taking me home.
Oh.
No
I
way,
was like,
man.
fucking vieja, bro. Like, that shit broke my heart. So then all these years passed, right? So about 2 months ago, I ended up going to Vegas, and I was getting my hair cut. I want to shout out the barbershop, but I forgot the name of the barbershop.
Oh.
But I'm sitting there with my kids, right? Because we're all getting a cut. And Fernando Vargas pulls up. And this is barbershop. His barber was cutting my hair. And I was like, oh, shit. Hey, wait. Is that Fernando? He's like, oh, yeah. I cut his hair all the time. And I was like, no shit. Hey, you think I can get a picture with? Total groupie mode, right? Like,
Right.
He's taking his chones off. About to
yeah,
call him
for real.
Vargas.
Were you going to go home with him?
Nah. I can't tell my kids that shit. Maybe if I was by myself. So I pull him to the side. Cool cat, man. Super cool, super chill,
Yeah, he is a
hella
super
humble.
cool guy.
And I told him the story. And I was like, hey, dog, like, you know, back in the day, do you remember a club, Sevilla's in Riverside? He's like, oh, yeah, it's got a top deck and shit, right? And I was like, yeah. So I used to be in there all the time. And I was like, yeah, fool, I know. One day you pulled up, and you fucking took my girl. Oh, man, he started laughing. He was laughing, bro. He's like, oh, man, I'm sorry. That wasn't
Sorry, not
me.
sorry.
He's like, that wasn't me. And I was like, fuck you. Yeah, it was.
I know
But,
it. I remember.
Yeah, but that's cool, man. That's a little story, a little backdrop about him.
I have a story on Fernando.
What do you got?
I was really back in the mid-20s, early 20s, I should say. I was really into mountain biking. So I've been Big Bear mountain biking. And as I was riding, I saw a big old crowd of mountain bikers. And, you know, they all stopped. So I stopped to see what was the big ruha. And one guy was being interviewed. You know, everybody was around him. And I go, oh, okay. Then I saw one guy to the side just sitting there. Just, you know, with his helmet, with his glasses, and, you know, his hands folded while he's sitting on his bike. And I go, God, that guy looks familiar. I'm not sure who that is. But it's the other guy getting attention. And finding out the guy that was getting attention was a skateboard pro rider. So everybody wanted to stop and talk to him. But I saw that one guy just by himself, and I go, God, that looks like Fernando Vargas. So I go up to him, and I said, hey, are you Fernando Vargas? Yeah.
Gets
Felt like the guy was excited that somebody gave him attention because he realized apparently he was with the pro rider,
Yeah.
the skateboarder. And
Oh,
he was like,
okay.
oh,
And
man.
no one knew who he was?
Yeah, they go, I know who he is. No one knows who I am. So he got
Yeah.
all excited that I knew him. So I said, oh, and he was all happy that I saw him. I go, oh, what do you, I didn't know you rode. He goes, yeah, I'm with that guy there. And he was the one who told me, but he was the rider. I said, the skateboard rider. And I said, oh, okay, cool. And I said, I told him about myself, who I was. And he says, oh, I remember you as when I was a kid watching you fight. I said, oh, cool. So we had this, so I lit up. So we had that little conversation. I said, when you became a champion of the world is when you beat my cousin. He goes, what? And he says, your cousin, yeah, that's when you became champion of the world. And so we were like, really? And I said, and I go, so he goes, your cousin is Campiola? And I go, Campiola is my cousin. And he goes, oh my goodness. And so we had this conversation.
Nice.
So we were like, okay, cool. So I go, you want to go riding? He goes, yeah, screw this guy. So we went mountain bike riding. So
Nice.
that was when we were talking about it. So we had a good ride. Apparently I was a better rider than he is.
Nice.
That's
So
dope.
that was
is-
that little thing there in ourselves.
That's cool. Nonetheless, he is a very cool guy, a down to earth guy. When I ran into him, I ran into him at the Staples Center for the Mikey Easter fight.
Mm-hmm.
And after the fight, me and my buddies were going to Tom Urban's to drink. Me and my cousin were getting out of the Staples Center, walking over there, and we see him walking with his crew of guys, and I'm like, Fernando, and I'd met him before, but I'm like, Fernando, what's up, man? He goes, what's up, Ese? And I was like, where you going? He goes, well, we're looking around. I say, we're drinking at Tom Urban's. Let's go. He goes, let's go. So they all started following us. We went in, sat down, and what did the bartender say? We sat down to drink, and I said, hey, Fernando, order whatever you want. It's on me. But take it easy. I'm not rich like you. He started laughing. He goes, I'll tell you what, man. I'll get something. You know what I drink? I said, what? Anything you want. And he goes, water with lemon. Because he was getting in shape. He was trying.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm like, I told the bartender, I'm like, I'll take a scotch and soda. My cousin will take this. Get the champ whatever he wants. And she goes, I don't know who the champ is. And I'm like, God, you don't know who Fernando Vargas is? You millennial. Get out of here. You gotta know who Fernando Vargas is.
Right.
Man.
I remember you telling me that story.
Yeah. Cool dude though. Super cool. Chopped it up with us. Wasn't on his high horse or anything. Super cool guy. Just talking boxing and yeah, cool guy. But back to
Fernando Vargas
Junior.
Junior.
El Feroz Jr.
Hey, Feroz Jr. Took his dad's nickname and everything, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
I love it.
And dude, he's pretty fucking good.
Hey, both of the sons, man.
All three of them.
All three of the sons are, dude. Those guys. One of them was actually good friends with my guy Matias, and I've been watching them train, even prior to, and man, those kids are impressive. They really are. Took the pedigree from the dad for sure.
Yeah, he fought in Yucatan, Mexico, and once again, Boxeo Azteca.
Right.
I'm telling you, I'm trying to put myself on game on these up and coming Boxeo Azteca fighters, bro. Because man, they be going
dude.
at it.
Yeah, they do.
Like they be really going at it. So I don't want to miss that. So, but dude, he won in I think it was like the 3rd or 4th round knockout.
Yeah.
But what I didn't like was his showmanship.
The showmanship.
Like after he fucking knocked him out,
Right.
like he stood on top of him like, "Que culero," like
I
what's
love
up?
it.
Like what's up?
I
You know
love
what I mean?
it. I like all that stuff. I like that to an extent. I don't like when boxers get cocky after the fact. When you come
Post fight, yeah.
yeah, like after post fight when you're out and about and you're acting cocky and overdoing it.
Like Broner.
Like bro,
Oh, yeah, bro.
that's
Yeah.
classless. But when you're in the moment, it's your fight. It's probably his first. I mean, it's his debut, so it's his first knockdown. It's. I mean, as a fighter, it's like, yeah, that's what we're dealing with. I love it.
Man, I don't. Like he looked tremendous, dude.
Yeah, he
like
looked sharp.
he
Very
looked
sharp.
really
Like he
good.
belongs in there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But what killed it for me was his taunting antics.
I love it, dude.
After he knocked him out.
Sometimes that does get in the way.
And I'm not a softie neither. Don't tell me it's not this, like.
You soft?
Yeah, fuck that. No, but for real though, I don't know. Like I just feel that you should have a little bit more, like more respect.
I get it though, but in the heat of the moment, you know, he's all hyped up. You know, he just sees him fall to the ground. Yeah, you want to stand over him.
You're in a killer instinct.
Exactly.
When you start sparring, I think you'll see that.
I ain't sparring,
Didn't
bro.
they do that?
Oh, you'll get
Didn't
there.
they stop that in basketball? I mean, excuse me, in football. In other words, before. Remember?
Taunting? Yeah.
Remember
It's
back in the
15-yard
day,
penalty.
you made a
yeah.
you made a touchdown, you made that glory dance,
Yeah.
which I enjoy the dance.
I love it.
And both team were doing it, and they was kind of disrespectful. Then they stopped
Why?
that. Some of those best
You're
dances
fucking
were good
suck.
from these
I
guys.
love it.
It's a
They were
rhythm.
they were in video games.
Right.
They
So
made it onto video games.
Oh, remember NFL Blitz?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
man,
that's
all
the
the
best blitz
taunts,
ever, man.
all
Right.
the taunts.
Then he ended up
you
stopping
have to
it.
hold the button to do the taunt. And
Right.
it was an actual part of the game.
So
I love it.
am I being too soft or what?
In my opinion, dude, I love that stuff.
Really?
I don't like it out of the ring post fight. Once your head is calm and you're your person, your own character, and you're walking around being that way, then that's a different story.
in a
Now
good
you can
fight, you're just trying to make a statement out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just when you should always show some respect in the ring, no matter what. And you're a professional fighter, so I get it to a point. Some of it's acceptable, and some of it's not. It's how you do it.
Once it's called off, he went and showed respect to the corner. That's different. The fight's over, shake hands and sportsmanship, all that good
Like
stuff.
I would understand if homeboy was talking shit throughout.
If there was beef between them.
press conference and all that shit, I'd be like, all right, you know what? You deserve that shit. That's what you get for talking shit.
It is. Well,
But if it wasn't really like that, I don't feel like that shit was
I
necessary.
don't even think it was a taunt.
Especially in his first fight, though.
I don't think it was really a taunt. He dropped him and he walked up to him. I guess imposing.
Nah, he stood in front of him, bro, and he was like, "What's up, motherfucker?" You know
I don't
what I
know,
mean?
maybe-
That's
oh,
how I
yeah,
took
maybe
it.
I'm
He
diluting.
dropped him. I think it's just more the height that he hit him and he dropped him to the
Yeah.
ground. It's just like
And the
just
fight,
stood
he
over
ended
him
the
like,
fight
yeah,
with that
what,
punch.
fool?
That shit was. I don't know.
Well,
What do you-
first fight, he's trying to make a good statement out of it. He'll start growing from that, and he'll learn.
So if Eric would have done that
Right.
in his first professional bout,
Right.
and he would have knocked somebody out, and he would have done the same shit, what would you have said?
Here's
Coach?
where the excuse is. Are you ready?
Yep.
As two fighters, you could taunt each other. That's okay. That is what it is. Where it gets insulting is when a fighter insults his family.
Oh yeah.
Then there's a beef there. Does
yeah,
that make
okay,
sense?
that's a little different.
That's
Yeah.
where you can excuse it. Where you're like, you were talking smack about their family. That's why it's more personal. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
If everyone gets upset. Well, your mama. What you said? What you say about my mama? Then you hit a nerve. Then he says, well, I'm going to punish you for saying that. I get that. But between
That's
two fighters,
Also mental.
That's
game.
when you
yeah,
go
between
bang
two
bang
fighters,
instead
you
of
go,
ding
hey,
ding.
you know what? The beef is between us, and it was really not more than that in itself. Then that's when it's not excusable if you do that. So
Anything less than that, like what he did. For example, like if Eric was in his debut and he did that, man, let me give you actually a perfect example. And you get so hyped, especially if it's somebody you know. You get hyped yourself, not just within the fighter, but his crew, his camp. At Matthias Radcliffe, at his pro debut, our mutual good friend, Ron Bahat, he ends up dropping the guy and he's banging it out with the guy and he's totally beating his ass. And Ron flings past the security, walks up onto the ring, and like I don't remember clearly, but I think it was like a high five where he like gets his shoulder. He's like, man, good. Like in the middle of the fight, man. I was like, you crazy? And he's like, yeah, that's our boy, man. And I'm like, right? I'm so hyped, man. So hyped. He just walked straight up to the ring, like, yeah, and security, hey, can't be here. Get out of here. I don't care. You just get hyped, man. It's crazy.
All right, so I'm probably being a sissy.
no, not at all. I mean, it's a bit
Nah,
legit.
It's just preference.
I love it. That's my thing.
Hey, bro, why you got your jacket on, man?
You know,
You gotta floss my shirt,
let me
player.
see. Let me take.
Oh, shirts.
You gotta-
Speaking of
Hey,
shirts,
let me,
You gotta floss my shirt, player.
Hey, shout out to everybody that supported this guy, man.
Thank you.
know,
I'm very
here's the shirt
appreciative.
itself. Looks great. Feels
Sold
good.
out.
I appreciate all of y'all who purchased my shirt. Thank you for the
Heck
support,
yeah,
the
man.
love.
Where'd the
Sold
shirts
out.
come? Where'd the shirts come from?
Pro level.
That's right,
Pro
baby.
level.
Only pro
Pro
level.
level.
It's a
We-
sweet shirt.
We
I love it.
dropped the design I had to tell this guy, man, I design off of your character. And he was like, I don't know. YG font. I'm like, man, listen, this is all you, man. The only change he made was we put sunglasses on the guy, on him. And, we dropped the design.
Let me match my design real quick.
There you go.
There you
put
go,
on his glasses.
Oh, there it is.
And,
there it is.
For all you YouTubers out there, check the
Yeah,
video out.
check it out. And
There we go.
so we dropped the design,
Recognize.
made a quick adjustment, put the colors in there. We popped out the shirts, and this guy, man, it was like hotcakes.
But please do not get it twisted. I am not a Raider fan. I am not a fucking Raider fan.
Lost Oakland, baby.
You know what I mean? And the verses last night with the Bay, Too Short kept yelling out, Raider.
Oh man, don't make me get into Too Short, man. You're from Studio City.
But anyways, back to boxing.
Yeah.
Appreciate the shirt.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate everybody who copped one. They came out dope.
I didn't get one, but I wish I did.
I didn't get one either, bro. I didn't get one either, bro.
He didn't put himself on the list.
You have
I
to be
forgot-
privileged to get one.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Gotta be privileged.
I forgot I had me in the mix.
Hey, we're rocking.
Yeah,
That's why I'm rocking my my Chingon sweater
Damn.
Shout out
from my
to you.
homeboys from the Roach Clip podcast. What's up, Dolo Brody?
There you go. Thanks for all the support. But
Appreciate you guys.
we're also we'll be dropping Lou Almighty shirt soon and Coach El Guapo soon, and then we'll begin Eric his own shirts too. Team Eric.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, more merch on the way. So, Triple G.
Triple G. Wow. What an impressive fight.
He looked great.
He looked more than great. I mean,
You know-
physically, he looked damn good.
Yeah.
Again, it was just an incredible fight. You know, because remember, we were judging him from his previous last fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I went off of.
You know, how is he going to look and not look and all that? And he was just impressive to see.
Me, I think what made him like super solid, he was wearing Laker colors.
Yeah,
Let's go, baby.
Like Roy Jones. Roy Jones.
Let's not talk about Roe Jones because he didn't look that great, rocking Kobe. But hey, he looked solid.
He looked very solid.
I missed the fight. I missed the fight because I was at work.
Well,
But I caught it. I caught it on
It was-
on the replay.
it was very much target practicing
Yeah.
on his opponent. His opponent was game, just was not in that kind of a caliber.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy had a lot of heart. You can see he had a lot of heart. He looked more physical before they started fighting. And then when you start seeing it, like, oh, this guy is just getting hammered.
Oh, Triple G. Is
And
just
Triple
a
G, everything
banger,
about Triple G, his jab was good. His defense is beautiful. My goodness.
I got a lot of I got a lot of slack. Everybody talking shit to me, saying that I'm stupid. That I don't know shit about boxing.
for saying that.
For saying that he was gonna lose.
Yeah, I didn't
And,
see him losing.
Well, you know, in fact, I love this corner. It was becoming one-sided, and this corner says, he's ready to go home. He's just waiting on you
Oh shit!
to knock him out.
Actually, my friend Tolo from the Roach Clip podcast,
Right.
he hit me up. He's like, bro, you're tripping. There's no way Triple G's gonna lose. He's like, he's gonna fuck him up by the seven round knockout. And I was like, nah, we'll see. And I'm at work, right? 'Cause
Right.
He's like, hey, bro, I told you, Triple G in the 7th. And I was like, oh, damn, bro, I'm at work. He's like, oh, shit, sorry. I
Good
didn't mean to
call.
spoil it for you.
Good call.
Yeah.
But
It was.
For calling it, I'm going to send him a shirt.
There you go.
I'm going to
there
send
you
him a
go,
shirt
there you
for
go.
calling it.
Nice.
So,
You, man.
Nice.
be on the lookout for that shirt, bro. It's coming.
No, it was a good fight. It was his fourth knockdown on a jab. On a
yeah,
jab.
yeah.
The guy got knocked down on a jab on the 6th round.
Yeah.
6th round. And I was like, whoa. It was just it was a good call when he went back to the corner. He didn't come out. It was just there was no way he was going to win. He kept throwing punches after punches and kept missing. And we're talking 2.5 feet. And his defense, when I'm talking Triple G's defense, was beautiful. You know, it's what I enjoy watching fighting. Everyone likes to watch the punches.
Yeah.
I like seeing the defense. That's
Yeah,
what
me
makes.
too.
That's what really makes the fight.
Me too.
Meaning, I'm in front of you, and yet you can't hit me, and you're throwing on the punches, but I'm still there. Defense wins fights.
His head movement was
No, it was incredible. His
it's
timing
like
was
if
nice.
he's never really had head movement before. He just stood in the pocket and just threw.
No, Triple G had Triple G.
Yeah.
No, he had some.
Not really though.
No,
not
he
not
was-
like his last fight.
Maybe not his last fight. I mean, remember he has a new coach and stuff. But under Abel Sanchez, he was a pretty. I mean, a lot of people didn't want to fight him, and I don't know. He's just a strong dude, and Abel used to say Abel trained him well. I just think, Canelo is just something else, which is
and let's keep in mind, yes, he's still the top middleweight.
Oh, definitely.
He's still the top middleweight.
Definitely.
He's still the big name.
And at 38.
And at 38 years old. And you know what I was talking about? Remember when we were talking about his last fight? Like, depending how he looks, because maybe he's aged.
Yeah.
He didn't
looked
age.
great.
And I'll tell you why he didn't age. Watching this fight. Remember, everyone can have a bad day in boxing.
Yeah.
When do a fighter age? When they have wars. When they're fighting back to back. And being. If you look at Triple G's fights, he is the dictator.
Yeah.
There's no one beating him up.
Right.
So he doesn't really have any body beat up and fatigue in there. He's doing the punching. He's very heavy-handed. There's a difference between strength.
Yeah.
When like some people have to force their punches. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But he doesn't have to. He just punches you, and he's heavy-handed.
Yeah.
He literally bruises you by just touching you. Because when you're watching him, I'm like, okay, his defense is good, and he's breaking that guy down, and he's not really swinging hard. He's just touching him and hurting him.
And you can hear it. Yeah.
That's heavy-handed.
What is it, like a Russian thing? Like it's something in their water.
Exactly, right?
You got lip in that.
So there's several punches where when it comes to power, some of them have to force their punches. Make sure they throw the hip into it, and and swing into it. Which a lot of them are very successful doing it. They go, oh, you got power. You're not heavy-handed, but you have power. Mm-hmm. And there's that stinging punch, and the stinging punch they're not really heavy-handed and they don't throw power. They just know how to throw the punch at the end of it and sting you with it, and that hurts a lot. Where they're like, oh, so when you look at a guy, God, he doesn't look like he can hit hard. Ooh, but he can sting you, and that is enough to keep you off of him. So those are kind of punches you look out for.
Yeah, I've got a little story about that. I won't get into it right now, but a skinny, tall skin. Like, picture Eric, a little skinnier and a little shorter, taller than me. Well, who isn't taller than me? But
I hear that.
Man, I've sparred these muscle dudes coming in saying they want to fight, feather fisted. Big buff dudes, feather fisted.
Right.
Outweigh me by like 40, 50 pounds, and I light them up. And they get that look in their face, like, dude, that little hit me that hard. And it's, apart from the fact that they're inexperienced, but, sometimes it's deceiving. I'm telling you, I've sparred this skinny kid, and I've had, the blocks, elbows in, and just lighten up the body. And he was a little more experienced than me, but I took him lightly because he was so skinny and lanky, and he had this nasty jab. And I remember for 2 days afterwards, I had not bruising, because you get bruising on the elbows from the body shots that you block.
Like knots.
But dude, inside I couldn't breathe. My freaking ribs. I'm like, dude, was my rib broken? I can't take a deep breath. Like, that kid was so heavy-handed. I don't know if it was bone density or what. I was hurt. Inside my elbows. I touched my elbows, and I'm like, ouch, dude. That dude beat the shit out of me. Skinny kid, dude. Yeah, bro. But anyway,
that's why I'm not sparring, guys. I'm just losing weight.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Hell
Get him in
nah.
there.
I don't want to fuck nobody up.
That's the attitude. That's the attitude. Yeah. But back to Triple G, man. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
So you don't think he's on his way down?
No, man. This fight.
Because I was just talking to El Gallo Negro, Johnny, on my way over here. He's like, oh, he doesn't look as good as he used to. He's on his way out.
I mean,
and I was like, how can you say that, dude?
Right.
With the
Do you
fight,
think
the
he's
performance?
changing? Do you think he's changing his fighting style now, or do you think he's still sticking to what he's known?
Nah, I don't think he's sticking to what he used to, like that Mexican style fighting him. I don't think
he's becoming more elusive, huh?
Yeah, he's becoming more of a boxer.
He's supposed to. He's 38.
Yeah, he's becoming more of a boxer than he is a brawler.
He was a heat
and
seeker
I saw that, and I saw that, on Friday, that he's not looking to go in there and just brawl and fuck you up. He's actually boxing. He's moving. He's picking his shots.
I agree, and keep in mind what he also did history there that night.
He passed
defense,
up.
the most defense was 20, which is Bernal
Hopkins.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
21.
his 21st as a middleweight. He defended it more times than Hopkins hold the record. Hopkins probably saying, "Damn it," but
That's
that is
right.
keep
That's
that in
right,
mind.
yeah.
We're gonna get him out of retirement now.
That's a history was made
All these
on
guys
Friday. He defended his title 21 times.
Yeah.
That's 21st. That's incredible. That's impressive. So
That's
to
very
say he's
good.
changing his style, like I said, right now I go, he still holds the top middleweight. You can't. I guess we were judging him on his last fight, which is understandable, being his age.
Yeah.
But he looked new. He looked young.
Yeah, he looked great.
His
Very
body was in shape.
And
He's strong. He's crazy strong, and I'll tell you why. I was watching a video of him where he was with a heavyweight, and it's a boxer, and they were doing a squeezing of the handshake, and this heavyweight, squeezing Triple G's hands, and right away reversed it, where he was like, oh. Triple G had stronger a handshake and the grip when they were just playing that game of who's stronger between the hands, and the heavyweight guy had to let go of it. He goes, he goes, let's go back at it again, and he realized, he goes, it's
Strong
not just
guy.
it's
Yeah.
Triple G's a strong guy. That's why I said heavy-handed. Those hands are strong.
Have you seen the workout he does for his grip?
Right.
Yeah, just some crazy workouts.
What does he
man.
do?
He has he holds a kettlebell, and all he does is rotate it, but it's all just the form. He lays it down, so he has no momentum. He just grabs it and flips it, grabs it and flips it. He's just
Really?
flipping the kettlebell back and forth. And think about it, like all the weights over here.
Yeah.
He has like a 20-pound kettlebell, and he's just
rotates it over?
just flipping back and forth.
Jesus.
He's very strong, very impressive.
It's crazy.
No,
man.
I'm with it. I'm at 38. I agree with Coach. He's a top middleweight still.
So who's next?
And,
Well,
that's another good question.
That's a good one. The doors are open for him now because, again, he's still the top 160 middleweight out there.
Who's out there?
For the middleweights? Well, obviously, let's be honest, what people really want to see.
Canelo.
Canelo. And Canelo won presently Saturday. Anyway, let's jump onto him before we go on to Triple G. That was a good night of fight. Again, Canelo fought a guy that was 6 inches taller, 7 inches in length advantage. And the math is really simple. When you have that height, that reach, you know what? Let's make this a boxing match.
Yeah.
I don't need this guy to get close to me. I got to double up my jab, triple up my jab.
Fight on the outside.
Fight on
for
the
sure.
outside, stay tall. Didn't see any of that. I was waiting. I go, you can't throw one jab at a time. It allows Canelo to walk in. And his backstabbing wasn't really well, backing up correctly, moving to the angles. He was being caught every time. The shorter guy just walked in. And again, even Canelo's defense was also incredible. I was like,
But
wow,
also,
look at his defense.
Also, his length, like he didn't adjust correctly.
Who?
Because when he Callum Smith,
right.
because when he would want to throw a punch, like he was too close.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
it was a bullshit ass hit.
And it's not.
And
It wasn't
blocked.
just him. It was Canelo. He was inside. He was outside. He was stalking him down. And Canelo has a great. Think about that. Canelo was walking him down
Right.
and
whole fight.
cutting off the ring. He wasn't letting him go anywhere. He wasn't following and following him and chasing him. He was cutting him off.
Keep in mind,
beating the
he's
shit out of him.
Colin Smith is a 168 world champion.
Yeah,
That-
undefeated.
undefeated. That's his weight, and he
Yep.
was taken to school.
Yep.
For the length and the height
Right.
advantage, for Canelo to throw a double jab and an uppercut and fucking land all three, you're doing something wrong.
I had a couple of people text me prior to the fight, and they were like, "Have you seen the height different?" I said, "Yeah, I have." Oh my God, Canelo's in for a long night. And I said, I
thought the
don't
same
know because so was Chavez Jr. So although we I had way higher expectations for that fight for Chavez.
So
I
did
think
I.
everybody did.
But we had Chavez Jr. and then we had Crusher Kovalev, which was a boogeyman in that weight at that time. I mean, he gave Andre Ward,
And that was a bigger weight.
yeah, exactly. And they all towered Canelo, and Canelo put a tape of Canelo's fight last night to Canelo when he fought whoever, Shane Mosley or whoever back then. It's such an
different fighter.
He clearly improved
super
drastically.
improved. Yes,
Hell yeah.
drastically. is
Every
a perfect-
fight, bro, he's getting better.
He's
and
getting better, and I agree.
better.
Cutting off the ring. He's not chasing him. He's cutting him off, and his shots are so much more precise, powerful. He feints one. He finds his way around the guard, and that guy was hurt. I think he was hesitant to trade with Canelo, even though he had the height.
He felt
advantage.
his power, dude.
Exactly.
Right.
He felt his power.
He was scared of the power, and then he was also hesitant to let off first because he's gonna get countered all night.
Because you saw when he was trying to throw the jab, Canelo would miss.
Yeah, and he counter him.
throw straight.
Yeah.
Right.
He'd touch him. He'd touch him every single time. So I think that's why he was like, man, fuck
Oh,
this
yeah,
jab.
He was giving him a lot of respect because he wasn't being aggressive. Well, when he was being aggressive, I go, "You're already beat up."
Yeah.
It was to the point where Canelo was like, "I'm not even afraid of you." And it's
No respect.
Not at all. In fact, Paul Calm, he threw like 4 or 6 punches, miss, miss, and it was like it's very frustrating when you're fighting someone. Again, you're 2.5 feet of distance, and you're letting both hands go, and not one's landing. And then. And receive punches coming back.
Exactly.
And
And
it's
you pay
just really,
for
that's
misses.
exactly what it was. It was target practicing again. Again, Canelo had a good rhythm of defense where he just couldn't get hit. Yeah. And to me, I appreciate that a lot when I go, wow, look at it. You went all these rounds without getting touched. And again, and you saw Canelo walking forward, but there was no fear. He goes, you can't even hit me.
And even when they both fired at the same time, clearly the Canelo's punch was way more devastating because they both tagged
Right.
each other at the same time, and
That shit
Canelo
hurt
was
me.
like, "Holy shit! Oh no, I'm backpedaling." I'm
Yeah,
hopping on the bike.
it went all 12 rounds. But again, the reason I believe why I went 12 rounds that Smith realized, his brother fought him. And he's like, this is going to look real bad that we both fought Canelo and we both got knocked out.
But his brother did better than he did.
In that fight, he did, other than he got knocked out.
What,
Yeah,
Liam
he got-
Smith,
It was
right?
a survival
Yeah,
mode.
but
When you're in a
better
survival
fight.
mode, you can last a little longer. Meaning, I'm going to keep my distance. I just want to get to the
You're not
12th
gonna
round.
trade. The other brother was like, "Screw it, I'm gonna go for it," and he got stopped.
Right,
But imagine the dad, man.
right.
He's like both. It
Both
looked
my
like
sons are
Canelo.
bitches.
It looked like Canelo fought Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy, and didn't give a shit. He was like Rocket Raccoon just coming in like, let's go. Imagine the dad. He's like, Jesus, I got 2 top. Callum Smith was
Right.
in the UK, a top level fighter. Got beat up by a short redheaded Mexican.
Yep.
Jeez, man, But
With
much
some
respect
funky-ass
to Callum
tattoos.
at the same time because he took some devastating uppercuts
He
and
took a
overhand
beating.
rights.
Bro,
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't.
I'm telling you,
he got hurt, but he didn't go down.
No, he
He's
didn't.
got a beard.
When he got stuck with the double jab and that third uppercut,
Oh yeah,
It was pretty bad. That's why I say you can go to his brother.
Good
He
Lord.
beat us, but I didn't go down.
yeah.
Like
hey,
you.
but all the Canelo haters out there, bro.
If
You
you're
had
a
one
Canelo-
over last night.
If you're a
I had a Canelo hater last night,
if
yes.
you are a Canelo hater in this day and age, it's not even just from last night, but prior to that. If you're a Canelo hater still, you don't know shit about boxing.
True.
Dude, he gave Canelo like 6-7 rounds last night.
Oh my goodness, we had
I was
I had a
like,
guest at
where?
my house, and because he was looking at the size difference, and he's very educated in boxing, but he was like, oh my goodness, look at the size difference. 6 inches taller, 7 inches in length. All this guy's got to do is sit back and just double jab, triple jab, sit back. True, but wasn't being done. Easier said than done.
Now, if you
Canelo
gotta-
again has just walked him through, and the reason why he walked him through was because of his awesome defense of his head movement, his rhythm, timing them,
slipping.
watching his punches, and again, what I always tell my fighters, you always have to look at your opponent. You can never turn your head away because that's where the punches hurt. You don't see the punches coming. That's what hurts. But Canelo always looking where the punches were coming, and that's he walked him through. It was a successful fight. What I love about Canelo,
Great fight.
he takes all challenges. He does not back down to nobody. Nobody. I mean, because normally in the average, be like, I'm not going against someone that big. It's too tall. The odds are against me.
Yeah.
And he's proven everybody wrong.
I think Canelo at this point is fighting to solidify for glory, to solidify his
Best Mexican ever.
yeah. I
Well,
mean,
he's
he's
already
fighting for
up
his
there.
legacy now.
He is
Because it's him and Chavez for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
hold on. The great when it comes to the Mexican fighters, everyone knows Salvador Sanchez.
Oh, yeah.
They
Sal
rate him
Sanchez,
as the number one fighter. Even Chavez says, "Who's your best fighter?" Salvador Sanchez, excuse me. Then we all know Chavez.
Chavez,
That's another
senior,
legendary,
baby.
senior legendary.
Yeah, not fucking Junior who
gotta
wears high heels.
Canelo's but Canelo's got to be up there with him now. He says, if you're gonna have a conversation of the great Mexican fighters, other than Salvador Sanchez, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., I'm in that mix.
Yeah.
He can honestly say that. And
Do you think he has the potential to surpass Chavez?
It's a different game. It's
Yeah,
a different
it
time.
is.
Different area. That's-
This is a different era. A lot of the boxers now, even though it's smart, they fight for the money.
Yeah, it's more of
And
a
then-
business.
Yeah, exactly, more of a business. Canelo, I think he's past that. He's rich as shit.
True.
He's got a huge contract. Whether he's out of it, I'm sure he's going to get another one. He's now fighting for send me the names. I'm that good. He knows he's that good. His people know he's that good, and now he's coming to solidify his name.
All right.
That's what he's working.
So, I think on the last episode, we talked about prima donnas and shit, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right, and then we said that Miguel Cotto was a prima donna,
Right.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Because he wants the
The
lights
demands.
and the
It's
flashes,
the demands.
demands.
Yeah.
So last night, what I didn't like, the fact that they're fighting for Callum Smith's belt,
Yeah, the WBA.
right?
Yeah.
Callum Smith is a fucking champion.
Right.
Right.
Well, okay, was a champion. Why did he get a regular, degular, bootleg ass entrance? Right? And Canelo, who's fighting, you called him out for his belt.
And a vacant. I think they fought for a vacant. Too.
Right. Correct.
He gets, the big ass introduction, the Rocky theme song with fucking mariachis and shit.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? You got the folklorico dancers.
Hey, that's a page out of Prince Nazim's book.
So I don't understand how and why he got called out like a champion, which he is, right? But not in this fight.
Not in that weight.
Not in that way.
So why that? And
I think it's just because he's a bigger name. He's the one that draws more attention.
but you're not respecting Callum Smith as a champion.
That's
is true.
true.
And that's the
That's
rule of
true.
I
thumb.
will agree with that.
It was his belt.
It was
Exactly.
his
That's
belt.
Yeah.
So, I feel like Canelo, you gotta fucking humble yourself sometimes.
You know what?
Bro.
Yeah. I'll give you that for sure. If you're the A-list superstar, and Canelo is he's the face of boxing. He's the man in boxing. Regardless, if you're coming to someone's weight class for their belt, you got to give that champion his respect. Like, I don't care if you do the billing where your name's first, Canelo versus Smith. Keep the billing in that way for marketing purposes or whatever, but give the champion his respect.
And
let
he
him
got
be-
Callum Smith got no fucking respect
Didn't
last
he get
night, bro.
booed when he came out?
Maybe got
You know what? And I think your wife touched about that last night.
Right.
The booze, the booze during the national anthem,
Right.
which is very disrespectful.
Yeah, that's true.
Like me as a Mexican, bro, there was a 90% Mexican crowd last night in Texas.
Yeah.
As a Mexican, bro, that shit makes me feel bad because you're not showing respect to other countries, to other
Right.
national anthems.
Yeah.
And me, I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, we have to have class. We have to have respect for other nationalities, not just us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm
true.
totally with that.
And
you got to respect.
That's
their
one thing
nationality.
that bothered me last night, and I'm glad that your wife pointed that shit out.
She pointed it out correct.
Because I was like, man, that type of shit, bro, it bugs me, because
It should.
like I pride myself on respect,
Yeah.
and you respect me, I'm gonna respect you back. Like there's no reason why. Oh well, just because Canelo's fighting, like that's cool, but you still got to show the other opponent respect.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing that I felt that the culture, the Mexican culture, I can say, didn't have that respect during his national anthem.
And I got to give you that one because I think as Mexicans, we are so prideful sometimes that we're like ride or die to the death for
and that's cool. That's
But you're
cool.
right, we
That's
have
cool,
to
bro.
have
But
the respect.
there's boundaries. There's
Yeah.
boundaries
Yeah.
where you have to respect the other opponent.
Yeah.
You have to respect his culture. You have to respect his country.
Yeah.
Like you can't just sit there and be a dick and be like, "Boo, fuck you." That shit ain't.
Dude,
Dude, I
Yeah,
feel
it's
right
right,
as an
man.
American
Yeah.
going to Germany
And boom,
and getting booed. You'll
Yeah,
understand that.
getting
Like, hey, he's an American. You know what?
Right.
It does show signs of disrespect.
No,
Well, I did get
absolutely.
that. I did get that when I went to Germany a long time ago with my friend. Like, fucking Americans. Hi, fuck you, I'm Mexican. Oh, hey, come have a beer with me. I had to pull my Mexican card out there, bro.
my papers.
Because they were treating me like shit.
Right.
So I know what it feels like. You know what I mean?
He
So,
said, hey.
like, I just feel that, like, us as Mexicans, Americans, like, we have to show respect.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
You
And
know
you know
what I mean?
what? That starts with your generation. You teach your kids that.
Oh, bro,
I'm
my
teaching
kids
that.
are very respectful.
Yeah, you got to be that way. You got to break that macho man, I don't care about anybody mentality. No, for sure. And you know what, man? I didn't know, man. I didn't know you had that in you. Proud of you,
Yeah,
man.
bro.
Hey, check
No, I'm
you
just
out.
saying, like, my dad raised me right. My mom raised me right.
Yeah.
Oh, very
You know what
good.
I mean? And,
Yeah.
and
No,
I
I'm
just,
with that.
I don't like that. Dude, if my kids ever done some shit like that, bro, I'm telling you, that cinto's coming
The
out.
cinto, bro.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Fuck the chancla. The cinto's coming out.
I'm very
Because
familiar with the
also,
cinto.
if you really looked at it, above the ring where they have the LED lights,
Yeah.
it said Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Smith. Not even his whole fucking name, dog. That shit is disrespectful
Well,
to
that
a
part,
champion.
that part is marketing. So you want to see Canelo I'm sure carried that, especially in the United States, carried that whole fight with the name. A lot of people, the general public, I guarantee didn't know who Callum Smith was.
Not at
So they
all.
had to market that in a sense. But as far as the champion walking in, giving him respect, I'm totally with that.
But dude, he's a champion, bro.
Well, that is true. Now, of course, he
Was a champion.
Didn't make him look like it, So now, what happens for Canelo? Where does he go from here?
Oh, I got some names I can throw out there.
Who's
Don't
the
get
top
me
of your
going.
list?
Oh, the top of my list?
Say top 3.
I don't want to be biased, man.
You're biased, bro.
I am. Top of my list, I want to say either throw in there Jamal Charlo or Benavidez.
Ooh, Benavidez.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, throw those guys in there.
I'd rather see Benavidez than the Charlo.
But then
Yeah?
he's good. Again, it's that marketing again. Is it really? We know who he is, but do other people know who he is?
Which one?
Benavidez.
Benavidez.
Hey, he's up and coming.
So-
Still, I think not up and coming. He's in the building
He's
stage
in the
of his
building.
name.
You know
but,
boxing,
okay.
you know he's the top.
Yeah, if you know boxing, you know who Benavidez is.
Exactly.
Okay, well, half of our listeners don't know boxing like you guys know
Okay,
boxing.
so let me
because
just
I don't
give
even
you a
know
quick-
boxing how
yeah,
you guys
let me
know
give
boxing.
you a quick synopsis. Jamal Charlo is one of two lions. There's two twins in boxing at one.
Shout out to H-Town because they're from Texas.
and 160. They both campaigned at 154 and dominated. One is a little bigger, so he moved up to 160, which is Jamal. That's the guy I'm talking about. These guys are fully into their name, lions only. Guys are lions. They don't come to play your strategy. They come in with their intentions. They're not looking for judges. They're coming to take you out. And everyone thrown their way, Trout, Lubin, Erickson Lubin, you got J-Rock Williams, all these guys, all the guys people were afraid of at 154 got not beat, got slept, got dropped nasty by these guys. If you guys have a chance, you want to see some exciting fighters, look up highlights on Jermell and Jamal. They look identical. The guys are
Right.
Oh my God, the guys are brutal, and I'm a huge fan of those guys. And also, Errol Spence, the guy we talked about on the first episode.
He's not ready for Canelo, bro.
No. He's campaigning to get a Canelo fight. The weight
not
difference
gonna
is too
happen.
much. No.
No.
But the reason I
Hell
bring up Errol Spence is because his name was dropped last night potentially, and Canelo's like, bring whoever, but I don't think that'll happen. But Errol Spence trains with one of the Charlos, and he's sparring them consistently. That's why when he goes back down to 47, he's fighting bigger guys all the time. He's sparring bigger guys like the Charlos. That's high level
sparring
stuff.
partners.
Yeah. So they go back down. He goes back down to 147, fighting smaller guys. No problem. That's how he was able to take Danny's shots and Sean Porter's aggressive style. He's used to it. But that's who the Charlos are, man. Look them up. Those guys. And Benavidez is right there with him.
I like Benavidez too.
Benavidez is nasty.
That dude's
That
fucking.
he is.
Nasty. Bubu Andrade. I say Andrade. It's Andrade. He was commentating. He's been looking for Canelo for like 2 years.
Oh no shit.
Although I don't think that'll be such a, I don't want to say interesting, such an appealing fight, just because of his style. He's
I
very
agree.
Technical.
I agree on that one.
And people want to see Canelo is a
People
big-
want to see Canelo and Triple G again.
You think
You
so?
want to see that
I do.
war. You
I
wanna
do
see a
believe
war.
that. That's always going to be the
That's-
major
that's-
talk about it. Is
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
fuck
problem is between them both. Here's the problem. One is at 160, one's at 168, who's
Yeah.
also fought bigger. Now, they're both going to claim they're in the A list. Obviously,
Sure.
Canelo's going to say, "I'm no matter what, I am the A list."
Well, yeah, look at
And,
last night.
Again, that's where that disrespect Triple G goes. I've never lost, and the only loss I have is what they gave you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not the A-list with me, which it's going to cause a problem. Now, if there is a fight, where do we meet? Do we meet at 160 or 168? Now, that's really the challenge right there, because that's probably the issue. Right now, it's a weight issue. Before we get to the money, you got to figure out, is it a catcher weight at 165? It says, if Canelo says, I can drop to 165 if you want to come up to 165, which is very possible. Again, there is an age difference, about 8 years. But it doesn't look it when you were watching Triple G. Now, between the powers, they both have great defense. Now, let's talk about the power. Okay, so if you really sit back and watch, Triple G's power is really heavy puncher. He doesn't swing. He just punches and hurts people.
He's very precise.
Very precise. So when he throws and lands, you feel his punches. Where Canelo, he forces his punches with the power. He swings into it, which is nothing wrong with it.
He gets you afraid of his punches, and that's what
he commits to his power by throwing into it, by throwing his body into it. Which so there we go. So you got two guys with good power. Again, when you watch the previous fights before that, Triple G has power because Canelo was respecting it.
Yeah.
He wasn't I'm going to walk you down. I'm going to walk you down. Now, he respects.
He walked away.
He walked away. So therefore, Canelo respects him. He's like, you do have power, and with your defense, because if you watch it, they were not getting each other clean punches because of their defense. And again, we're watching a fight again. They're both good. Their defense got better. The movement got better. Now is really their power. Goes, you hit me, I hit you. So again, it's a 12-rounder fight. You can't really say, Canelo's going to knock him out, or Triple G. Triple G is not going to knock Canelo. Canelo looks like he could take a punch, and he showed it.
Yeah,
so therefore, it really brings a good fight to it again. And again, it's a drama fight because again, we all know the first fight wasn't a draw. We all know that. There's no one really saying that it was a draw.
Right.
Now, again, you can make a good argument about the second fight, meaning Canelo won the fight.
He did.
I don't believe he won the fight. I felt that Triple G won the fight. In fact, if there was a draw, that should have been a draw. And it really makes it for a third fight.
So it really does make it for a third fight.
It does. The drama's there.
I always looked at it like, the third fight would be in favor for Canelo, and I think his camp would look at it like you're gonna rebuttal with weight and money. No thanks, we're not interested. That's what I think.
And that's very again. That's the issue. You're gonna talk about money. Who's gonna make the money? It would be Canelo. Well, let's know that it's gonna be he's gonna make the money. Yeah. It's really the weight issue. It's really if they decide because they were both.
He's not coming
they were
back
both
to
asked about each other. Like if it happens, it happens. I'm not. They're not gonna say I'm gonna run away from him, but they know it's like if I'm gonna fight Canelo, what is my weight? What are we gonna talk about weight? Canelo's thinking the same thing. What's the weight?
He's not coming down to 160 anymore.
We don't know.
Well, if he says that he's a fucking badass and he wants to take on anybody, why should
he's willing to go down in weight to fight Spence.
Yep.
But he may not.
Did he say that? Did he confirm that?
He said he'll come down to fight Spence at that weight.
At
Really?
60.
Yeah. So therefore,
I don't think Spence is ready for that.
but Spence is not. No, let's not go there.
Hell no.
Now, is he willing to go say, well, okay, I'll fight Triple G at 160? That is, if he's willing to do that, then we got to fight. If he's willing to say, I'll fight you at 160, then we have a fight. Because I don't see Triple G backing down on that.
No.
You're fighting, again, those are the two top middleweights out there, biggest names out there, and it really, again, it'll make a good fight. In other words, the publics want to see good fights.
Yeah.
And again, just to go around and chasing away. Again, because if Triple G says, okay, my next fight's going to be this guy. Oh, are you kidding me? Or Canelo, this is my next fight. People are going to badmouth it.
Right.
What they want to hear is, all right, let's see these gladiators go at it.
And I actually, let me retract some of my statements there a couple seconds earlier.
Yeah.
Because I forget Canelo is pretty much a free agent.
Correct.
Even though he's partnered with DAZN, he can pretty much fight whoever he wants. He's not tied into Golden Boy. Golden Boy doesn't have to.
And who's promoting Canelo? I mean Triple G?
Triple G. He's on the zone.
He's on his own. It makes it simple. That makes the fight happen right there.
very true.
You can't use the other guy against promoters.
I like this DAZN thing because they are game to fight.
Right.
Any network. I think the only guys that are not playing ball much is Top Rank and Golden Boy.
Right, which is true.
Because PBC is like bring it, bring the stable.
I do like PBC though too.
PBC is awesome.
They always got some good shit all the time.
Well, they do. But again, is this fight going to happen between Triple J and Canelo? People are going to stew on it and see what time goes on.
I hope so.
So if that doesn't happen, who do you want Triple G to fight next, and who do you want Canelo to fight next?
Well, that's a good one. I mean, they both have good opponents to fight whoever they really want. So there's a lot of top names out there. Well, again, this is the thing. Do we really want to bring them up or not? In my opinion, I want to bring those other people up because I don't want to see that. I really want to see Canelo and Triple G. Other than that, because it's coming like, you're avoiding. There's that word, you're avoiding. Yeah. Let's make it happen. They're both from the zone, so there's really no excuse. Let's figure out, are you guys going to figure out, again, it's the weight class. What weight class are you guys willing to fight? Is there going to be a catcher weight? Really, that's really what needs to happen. As for having another conversation, maybe you should fight this guy. You're not going to like it. You're just not going to like it.
So if they put up a Triple G and a Charlo, and then Canelo and the other Charlo,
that'd be pretty.
One Charlo's at 154.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna wipe out that whole division first. He's got a couple of guys in front of him at 154. So it's only one Charlo that's at 160.
Right.
But that dude's game to fight him.
And again, the Charlo brothers, I get it, but even if it happens, you're still gonna be talking smack about it.
Yeah.
And again,
that's true.
And again, what makes more money for them?
them two together.
Let's keep that in mind.
That's why they fight.
That's why they're prize fighters. But I'm giving him an opportunity for less money and taking a risk on a loss or looking bad when I should have walked away with this one and made more money. And it's really about more money. So that's really
money.
And that's also the kryptonite. Let me give you a quick synopsis on that. Andy Ruiz takes a fight on a 2-week notice, dethrones the champion, Anthony Joshua. He set himself on a foundation per se to basically command his paycheck for the rest of his career. All he had to do was not eat the tacos,
right?
Stay in the gym. If somebody around him were like, don't buy that mansion right now. Don't buy that Rolls Royce. Don't buy the watches. Don't do anything. Train your ass off because the other dude's coming to take your head off.
Hey, bro, no tacos, no life.
Well, keep in mind, that was his last payday.
No boxing.
That's his last big payday.
That was his last big payday. But that's his fault. If he would have taken the money, he said, look, I'm going to act like I never got that money. I'm going to come because there was a rematch clause. He couldn't fight anyone until he fought Anthony Joshua.
Correct.
The rematch got made right away because Anthony Joshua said, I underestimated the guy, no excuses. I'm going to train. I'll do what I got to do because that's a champion mentality. Ruiz was like, dang, look at all these millions of dollars. Let me get the tacos.
I'll be honest.
Guacamole.
Luis felt like he won the lotto, and I'll tell you why.
Yes.
Because when they said he didn't want the rematch in the beginning, and they said you have to.
You have to. It's a rematch.
It's in the clause, and he realized, it's in the contract. I remember when he had that expression, it's in the contract. And I don't. If he had a chance to walk away with it, he would have done it. But he had to. And again, he did the worst way out of it. I'm just going to gain weight where you can't hurt me, and hoping my speed would scare him enough.
A lot of people were saying they couldn't find him in the gym, right?
Right, very much so. Very much so.
Dude, he should have been training, and then more training.
Even his dad called him out.
He's training now, bro. And
he's training now.
Really good.
But look, think about it. That's after the fact. Now, look what you fumbled your opportunity to command your paycheck of 10, 20 million a pop and really go through and make this incredible career for yourself because he has the talent. He just didn't have the dedication. And I said it to a ton of people. I'm not saying he's the man yet. He's got to prove him because he's got to get through Anthony Joshua again. Oh yeah, but Ruiz. I'm like,
he made history as the first
Mexican
to be the heavyweight champion, and he just let it go.
He let it go.
He let it go.
So now he's training with Canelo's camp, and
He looks
not,
good, bro.
well, I don't care if he looks good. His paycheck's not going to look as good as if he would have
That's
taken
It's
on
true.
Joshua
Looking
twice.
good is more than just showing good.
Exactly.
So
Think about if he would have stayed on point and beat Joshua again.
Right now,
Dude,
he's
he'd
back
been the man.
He's
The
back to square
man.
one.
Exactly. He's back to square one.
He has to
yeah,
work
he
his
didn't
way
win
back
one
up.
round from that fight. Not one round.
He looked terrible.
Lost.
Did you
every
see-
round.
He let people like me and the general public that was rooting for him. Although I knew, I'm like, oh, he came in heavier than the first time.
Yeah.
And I was hearing through the grapevine, they can't find him in the gym. They can't find him for sparring. Oh no, he's not in it. He's not in it to win it. And he showed up, and wasn't in it to win it. So now
just showed up.
he doesn't command that
Big ass paycheck.
lion
The only
share
time he was
paycheck.
showing up, it was to the parties.
Oh yeah.
And
That's
to the
what he was
taco
showing up
shop,
to.
my
Yeah,
man.
that
Hot
was
shop.
well known. He
Yeah.
was going to parties. You know, he was like, oh my God, fame, women.
Did you
Yeah.
see when Tyson Fury called him a fucking burrito?
Back to Tyson Fury.
Pretty much,
I
yeah.
freaking love that guy, man.
Yeah.
God, the way that's
It's
the
like,
antics
that
that
fat
I'm talking
burrito,
about.
he ain't got shit on me.
The whole Fernando Vargas antics and the that's what Tyson Fury has. I love it, bro. I eat it up. I wrap that up in a burrito. I eat it.
Well, keep this in mind. If you want to be famous, it's
gotta be
really
a
being
showman.
loud. You
You
have
gotta
to
be
be
a
loud.
showman. You gotta be a
Because
showman.
think about it. I'll tell you why. Triple G, as a boxing fan, you know who that man is.
But you don't know his voice.
But
You don't hear his
before that,
voice because he's very respectful.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't make the drama show. That's how good he is.
Beautiful, beautiful example. And my biggest example prior to Triple G was Andre Ward.
Oh, exactly. Andre
That
Ward.
guy was, if right after Mayweather retired, he was the number one pound for pound in my book.
He was.
Had never lost a fight since he was like 12 years old. The guy was an extremely, almost a perfect boxer. But he was was a man of God. His nickname was Son of God.
Right.
And apart from the fact that he's from Oaktown,
Yeah.
he was just a great boxer, and not a lot of people knew him.
No, I
I
used to
people
tell
were like,
people.
"Who's that?" Andre Ward. It's like, "Oh, only the best boxer out right
They
now,
go,
dude."
"Who's Andre Ward?" I go, think of him as an oversized Floyd Mayweather
For
Jr.
exactly.
I
Next
go,
size up.
what? I go, he's like a Mayweather, just a bigger size. And I said, he should be more known.
Yeah.
But again, he was a very respectful,
Very
quiet
respectful.
Very
guy.
humble.
Very
He did all
well-spoken.
his talking in the ring. And so outside of the ring, you don't know who he is.
Yep.
Like some of these other guys that
Yep.
like don't really deserve to be known because outside they're so loud.
Yep.
And like
On
Ryan
Instagram,
Garcia is
can't
like,
stand it,
give
Joe
you an
Rogan.
example.
Insta fame.
He's
Yeah.
known for his Instagram. Who other boxer do you talk about that?
Yeah, yeah.
He's known for his
Yeah,
Instagram.
exactly.
You look at this, you're like, oh damn, he's got a big following.
Yeah.
So, hey, Ryan Garcia, did he start on Instagram and YouTube and became a boxer?
I don't
or
know.
was he a
No, no,
boxer?
he was
first?
always a fighter.
He was
He was
always
a
a fighter.
boxer.
But just recently he blew up. I don't know for what reason, but
Well, he's a pretty boy.
No, because he uploads a lot of his videos where he's like super fast, hitting the bag,
Yeah.
moving.
He's
All
got
little promo
speed, no
videos.
doubt. But does he have this? Amir Khan has incredible speed, hand speed.
Right.
But he's
What-
not as popular.
But he's not as popular. Not only,
Well,
I mean, he is in the UK. He's
in
super,
the UK,
super
but-
popular over there. But he has no chin. Sometimes he lacks movement. His flurries are sometimes a little sloppy. You know, he got beat by a lot of top name guys. And Ryan Garcia, I think, to me, right now, he's not as good as people are making him out to be.
Ryan
He's
Garcia.
more popular than he is.
And I agree with you on that because here's my problem. What I see with him, does he have fast hands? Well, without a doubt,
Yeah.
they're fast,
Super fast.
In fact, his hands are doing all the fighting.
Yeah, yeah.
Meaning, when I say that, I don't see the footwork, I don't see the balance, I don't see the head movement. He stands up straight,
Yeah, he does.
forward.
Yep.
He doesn't move much.
He's waiting for that left, right?
And he's eventually, like I said, he's got good timing. But as you get older, you start losing your timing, and you're gonna have issues with a boxer. Again, there's that boxer coming in where he's like, shifting from one side to the other, tripling his jabs, single jab, right hand, underhook, come in, walk out. And he doesn't do any of that.
No.
Again, he just stands there really looking pretty, and he just times you when you walk in, and he's got those fast hands with that hook.
Yeah.
Boom. Again, against another high caliber, we'll see that and say,
Yeah.
I'm not really walking into your punches.
So he's fighting Luke Campbell, which
Right.
is
which
This
is
Saturday.
Luke Campbell. What gets me about Luke Campbell is that he went 12 rounds with Lomachenko,
he did.
and that alone, that's hard enough.
Yeah,
And
right.
Yeah.
That means he could
he
sit
he'd
there
give
and
you some.
give you some, be evasive, elusive, and fight back. He's gonna fight back, and who has Ryan Garcia really fought? No,
He
not
has.
really
He
big
doesn't.
names.
See, for
this
all
is his first
all
big
of-
name. I think he's
Everyone
fighting.
is free to drop a comment and drop your opinion. I don't care if you watch boxing twice a year or 3 times a day. Drop a comment and let me know your opinion. But I'll go on record saying it right now. He just called out Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, and Tank Davis to fight him now. I promise you this, and I'll bet money on with anyone. If he fights Tank next year, he gets laid out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tank
Well-
will eat that dude up.
We'll
I
know
hope so.
January 2nd. That's when the fight is
For,
for Luke Campbell,
Campbell, yeah,
Campbell
yeah.
and all that. So with Ryan.
The
So
next-
that's really interesting to see
In
because
2
that,
weeks.
What's up?
In 2 weeks, right?
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Is that? Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yep.
Jesus, we're almost done with 2020.
Right.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Hey, so who's Kazuda Loka and Koji Tanaka? Because they're fighting next week.
I've seen Tanaka fight, but who? Say the first name again?
Kazuda Loka?
Kasuda Loka.
I'm not sure
I
myself.
know the second guy sounds familiar, but I'm not too familiar with the
Koji Tanaka.
They fight when?
Cozy Tanaka.
On the 31st.
Let's see. Do you have a picture of them?
No.
No.
Oh man.
I just have their names.
Right.
Well, we're out of the loop on that one.
Yeah.
Well, look out for that. I'll look out for it.
We're gonna be tuned in. So
It's gonna be on Fox. Oh, TBA.
Fox.
TBA. To be
TBA?
determined. To be announced.
To be announced. Cool.
cool.
Plus, Ryan Garcia talks funny.
Yeah.
Put that on
He
record too.
talks. He's
Hey, he looks like a little. He looks like a
Too
little
cocky.
sensitive motherfucker, bro.
He is a little sensitive dude. He,
You know what I
he
mean?
he got in a fight with a verbal altercation with his own promoter, which was
Golden Boy.
Golden Boy Oscar De La
He
Hoya,
did.
Oh,
yes.
no.
demanding that he gets a gigantic deal. And I want to be like, dude, you haven't fought anyone. You're not even a champion. What do you want a deal for? You still got to fight people to prove yourself. You're in the caliber. And he ended up getting it, I guess, because of all his followers. I don't know.
just-
Well,
I'm not
he
sold
ended
yet.
up getting it because he lost Canelo, Golden Boy.
No, he got it prior to that. He got it prior to that.
I
But
mean, that-
he is smart, and his dad is smart for taking him to Canelo. So he trains next to Canelo and with Eddie Reynoso and the.
he's learning from the
Chepe.
best.
Yeah. Alongside of also
Andy Ruiz.
Andy Ruiz. Hey, that guy's got a pretty good stable, man.
Very much so.
Yeah, you got Ruiz, Canelo, and Ryan Garcia. If they train them up, right,
They're the top coaches right now.
yeah, they are.
They are.
Along with Robert Garcia. I'm a big fan of Robert
Yeah.
Garcia
Oh yeah,
too.
he's great.
And Coach Wapo.
Coming
Coach
up.
Up, of course.
Hey, Coach El Guapo's got me 45 pounds lighter.
Woo! There you go.
Good job, man.
We were out, speaking of that, this weekend we were out sparring with other gyms, which was really good. And my boy Eric here looked really impressive and good.
Yeah,
and
thank you,
again,
Coach.
it was based on movement. He
Yep.
really, like I said, they were stacking guys up. They said, okay, we'll go against him. And it was his movement that stopped everybody.
Why don't you go pro already, bro?
So.
Yeah, we're trying. Just got to get some more experience
Well, we
first,
need
man.
more experience. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a go pro. It's easy to go pro because it doesn't take much to get there.
Take some.
Other than that, you have to really deal with the amateurs.
Yeah.
In other words, if
Just
you're going to have a
develop
hard
as a
time with the
fighter.
amateurs, you're not going to really make it into pros.
So approximately, like, how many amateur fights do you need before you're good and go pro?
Well,
You could go. I could go
You
now.
don't have to do any.
you can have 0 amateurs that go pro.
So how do you go pro?
Well, it's really
Fill out the
based.
paperwork.
Fail at the
based on,
paperwork.
yeah,
Fight
it
for it.
really
Get a
doesn't take
mouthpiece.
much. Yeah,
Wait
$38
5
makes
business
you a
days to
pro.
get a mill.
No shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Going pro is nothing without the experience. You got. I trained at 10 Goose Boxing. I trained next to you probably know him,
Andre
John
Berto.
Molina. Oh no, Andre Berto for a short time. Hey, let me also point out when I say sparring, I'm not saying I was sparring the guy for like giving him hard sparring. He played with me. I just want to throw that out there too, because I got some feedback that, hey, you sparred Andre Berto. Well, I say sparring because he was moving away and working on his defense, and I was just throwing a bunch of punches at him, and he
And
put
missing.
Yeah, I missed a lot, and he would put me back in my place when I'd get too close. Nonetheless, it was more of that, and he could have laid me out if he really wanted to. He knocked the headgear off of one of the guys that same day, and it's on YouTube.
No shit.
Yeah, the dude was he turned pro now, but he was throwing punches at him, and he slipped one and countered with a I think a nasty uppercut, and knocked his headgear off, went flying and hit Joe Goosen in the head. Yeah, but anyway, back to my point. I trained also when I was training there next to John Molina Jr. And John Molina Jr. had a very short amateur career. He learned on the job as a pro. He learned, and you kind of could see it if you saw a lot of his fights. He just had a super nasty right hand. He had
Right.
He went to war with Lucas Matisse. I think was
Oh, that was a good fight.
fight of the year. Fight of the year, right?
That was a really good fight.
Big nasty, and Lucas Matisse, I mean, he was a heavy hitter too. But the point is, he had a short amateur career, and he was learning.
So what's short? Like how many fights?
I think he had something like
Because a lot of people don't know the transition from amateur to pro.
20.
Well,
Like 20
yeah.
or 30.
So, give you an idea. When I've seen this all the time with amateurs, and they might have like 7 wins, right? And after that, I'm going to go pro.
Yeah.
Just because you had 7 wins as an amateur doesn't really let you know you should be going pro yet. You gotta really work your way into it. Like Eric, a lot of people go, you should make him pro. Again, it's more mental than physical.
Yeah.
And physical, that
And
part's easy.
experience, the experience in the mental, yeah.
Right. So it's more mental to understand because you're going to fight all different classes. And keep in mind, when your first debut as a pro, you got 0 and your other opponent had 0. It's really based on his experience, how many amateur fights, how long he's been in the gym, how long he put in the time. If you go, okay, we've both have 0 fights, well, it's pretty even. But in the back, he's like, well, no, this guy has 300 amateur fights, and I only have 20. And you're like, oh, there's quite an experience showing it there.
And you can see it.
And you can see. That's why do you think when you look at all the Olympians, why they do so well?
Yeah.
When they go to pro, because they had such a great amateur experience, and that's really the key. Because most amateur, Olympians either became world champions or close to it, versus somebody not. And again, it's not like a pro football player. To be a pro football player, you have scouts looking for you. Same thing in baseball. You have to prove yourself how good you are. They're really in boxing. There's no scouts. It's just you just go, hey, I want the money and I want to go make it, and so you just do your physical, and you pay your dues. You're a pro. And again, I've had so many people walk on my door. I want to be pro. Not yet. There's no way I'm going out there with you, because you really can't fight. I just want to use it as my bucket list to say I was a pro. A lot of them do that.
Really?
A lot of them.
I want to get like a fight or two, just to have it under their belt.
To see that,
I've been to some amateur, kind of like a show, I guess, but it wasn't like Golden Gloves. But I've been to some amateur fights where I was in there, curious, looking and watching, and there were some guys in there. I'm like, what in the hell are you even doing there? Like, I'll hop in there right now and beat the shit out of you. And then you have like some other amateurs in there, like, dude, you should be a pro, and it's just the different level of experience.
Right.
Same thing. I've watched guys. I trained with Juan Funes before he went pro, all through his 16, 17, 18 in his amateur career, and he had a long amateur. He had a lot of amateur experience, and it showed when he turned pro. Against some of the guys he fought, he just looked like he belonged in there, smooth, and it's a stage. People get stage fright if you don't have the experience. And I've also seen guys that had a short amateur career and they jumped in there and they were stiff and they didn't have like the movement experience. They looked like they didn't belong in there yet. And it just plays out. Matthias Radcliffe, his pro debut, he knocked the dude out. He looked like he belonged in there. Like, really? He was fluid. He was in there. He was coming for you. You could just tell. The experience plays a big part.
Very much so. When we have plans, when we make one of our fighters a pro, again, we go to the amateurs and say, okay, I'm going to test you. And each time, like Eric and my side, I always test Eric to see where we go with this and see how he reacts, how he looks. And, and we just keep growing with it. You got to take the good, the bad, and the ugly with it. And you say, okay, we'll take that experience and we'll grow with it. But to say, okay, you should go pro because you made these guys look bad. But that's not the case. You have to continue that the whole time. The amateur is very different than the pros. Very different.
Yeah, it is.
Man, you just don't make a pro, an amateur go pro without the experience and then just go on from the fights. Right. So, therefore, Eric here, do I want him to go pro? I do. But we could have done something we learned more about if it wasn't for this 2020. No one would have competed.
Jeez.
So, Eric's already lost a year of that. So we have to go to hopefully 2021 and say, okay, let's go back to the amateurs and see what we look and how we feel and how we do. And then I could keep testing them, because that's why I said, all right, how do you test them? How many fights that guy has as an amateur? All right, let's go after this guy. He has the experience. Because if you can't beat this amateur, why would you go after a pro?
Pretty much. Usually I just let him just take over. I'm like, all right, coach, You decide who I fight. I know. I'll be there. You know, I'm gonna show up.
That's
You're
his
gonna
job.
your job is to show up and
have
fight.
I have faith in him that he's gonna pick the right guy.
trust.
Right.
So if he told you to jump off the cliff, you gonna jump off the cliff?
maybe not that far, but maybe not that much, but.
He knows I have his back. If I say jump off the cliff, he's gonna go. If you
Right.
say to jump off the cliff, I know you have my
better
back
be
for it. I'm
something.
gonna come out safe.
There'd
So,
be something down there.
so, and that's really the thing is, like I said, basketball players got to prove they're that good.
Yeah.
And when they are that good, they sit on the bench. That's for baseball and football players.
I ain't no bench warmer.
Well, you know, there's a lot of them out there. When you see them, and I go, you're like, oh, he's a bench warmer. Yeah, but he's a better player than you.
Oh, I'm a good player.
So
Dang.
now that's why I said so. Boxing's a little different, you know. We've had guys walk in and say, "Oh, I'm going to be a pro," and I'm like, "Okay, you're not even ready."
Let's see it.
Let's see it. We've had.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
they
going to
come-
mention names, but we've had guys spar with you.
Yeah, they come in. They beg coach to let this spar.
That sounded like me when I started.
Yeah.
Get my ass
And
kicked.
he puts him in there with me because he doesn't want to put him with another green guy. Because then if they just go at it, they're just gonna kill each other.
Yeah.
And they're like, Eric, just work with him. He starts throwing bombs.
Yeah.
Let him know.
Yeah.
Hit him back.
Yeah. Put him back in his place.
Put him back in
yeah,
his place,
that's a lot of people don't know this too. Sparring an inexperienced guy at your level seems like the logical thing to do. I went through it. Oh, this guy just started. I remember him a couple months ago with me, jump roping. That dude's gonna try to take my head off. Sparring him hurt.
Oh, yeah.
I get him. He gets me. We don't have the experience to help each other learn in a sense.
Yeah.
But sparring a pro or a experienced amateur guy like you, it's actually a safer bet because you know when to put it on me
Yeah.
and when not to. You're not.
Yeah, I can
technically-
read your body
Exactly.
language.
You can let me work a little bit.
Yeah, bro.
exactly.
You want him to put it on you?
Hey, Cochino. I mean, leather, home.
Good lord.
But last thing I want to touch on that I also get since we did touch on Vargas, one thing I wanted to touch on that a lot of people that I get the argument from and I get a lot. Not everyone knows a lot about boxing, and I don't know everything about boxing, but
Coach does.
I get except for Coach. I get in talks or arguments with people about Fernando Vargas. They're like, "Oh, the guy with the bangs, that
Right.
That got beat by De La Hoya. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that guy was a brawler. Yeah. He wasn't a brawler.
He was a
He
boxer.
could box. A lot of people don't know Fernando Vargas was an Olympian and a decorated amateur. He was decorated in the amateurs.
He was very decorated, and he had 17 knockouts in the first round.
Yeah.
He was cleaning house.
No,
that's why he became so big.
Yeah.
He was knocking everybody out in the first round.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, so every time you watch him fight, like knockout, 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 you're like, damn, this guy's got a good record just on knockout.
Yeah,
He never hit the second round.
I remember when he came and beat Yuri Boy Campas, and a lot of people, like
That's
a lot
my cousin.
Campas?
Your boy Compass.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
when he became champion.
Right. And he beat Fernando prior to their actual fight, right?
Right.
He beat him and made him cry. He has a story about it on YouTube, and he actually is a boxer puncher,
Correct.
not a brawler.
Right.
A lot of people get that mistake. He liked to bang it out. Maybe the Mexican in him, the macho guy, and I don't know what it was.
He was
but-
ferocious.
Yeah, exactly. And feroz. He'd like to bang, but nonetheless, he was actually a very, very good boxer puncher. And I just want to put that out there for all you guys that are. Fran Vargas was just a brawler. All he knew how to brawl like a cholo. No, he was a very good boxer.
He was a very good boxer.
Yeah.
Very much so.
He just threw him out to the wolves way too early.
Right.
Way too early.
Yeah. Well, guys. Anything else you guys got?
Well,
No, that's about it, man.
What do you
no,
got?
we just go out ready for the next
We're-
upcoming fights, but we're doing really good.
So-
We're
Next
an
fight
hour
is-
and 13 minutes in.
Yeah. Anybody want to shout out? Anybody? We
I
definitely
just want-
thank the support.
I just want to say, feel free to comment on anything. We learn from it, so because we're new at it. So
Yeah.
please do make some comments that way we can learn. Good or bad.
Yeah,
we'll take them.
Drop a comment if you guys want to hear anything. Any
We talk
topics.
a lot of shit. We got a ring in this motherfucker too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all you tough
Take Coach
guys, all
on.
you keyboard warriors. Hey, come sign the waiver. Ring right there.
You see in the background?
We'll throw you to Eric.
No. Hop in with me, guys.
I'm talking tough too. Let's
Some
throw him to
sparring
Eric.
partners, man.
He needs some work, so bring it in. All you tough guys, all you keyboard warriors that never show up, pull up, sign the waiver. No, just
Okay,
kidding.
I'll
But
play nice.
if you guys,
Hey, you think you can fuck up?
yes,
Fucking
Yes, again.
Paul Logan? What's his name?
Logan
Paul.
Paul?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Easy.
This experience
Easy work.
alone. No, but if anybody wants us to put out a certain topic,
Give us suggestions of what you guys want to
Definitely.
talk. What you guys want to hear.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to?
all feedback.
I'll
is
tell you
good
right now,
feedback.
if we like it and we use it,
Everything's
we'll throw it.
appreciated.
We'll throw a shirt at you.
Yeah,
There you go.
Ooh.
from Pro Level Shop.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so give us
Pro
some ideas,
level.
guys.
Anything else you got?
I'm Gucci, man.
Let's call it a day. It's a beautiful day out here in Elsinore.
Let's go have some fun.
All right, guys.
Guys.
Episode
All right.
3 is a wrap.
All right.
Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank you.
Tune in again.
All right.
Boxing Club Podcast. Out.
See you later.